Hello my friends and welcome to the Halo Foundry. You see, most people think that happiness is being loved by another human, having them around you who will support you and who will die for you. But honestly, I think that couldn't be further than the bloody truth. Those people who say that love is happiness clearly don't own a miniature banished shade turret now, do they? That's right people, as today we're going to be reviewing something that I thought I'd have to kill someone to own, and that's the Halo Infinite World of Halo scale shade turret by Jazwares. Taking a quick look at the box of this beast. On the front we get this awesome piece of artwork showing off the turret manned by the Grunt Assault, which is included in the set. I absolutely love these little artworks included on these vehicle sets on the box, but sadly the Mongoose and the Banished Ghost set from Wave 1 didn't have these epic packaging with the artwork. Instead they had the open window design, which is really boring. But luckily for us, it looks like Jazwares will be continuing this design with Wave 3 and hopefully with future waves, as all three vehicles in this wave are going to be having this awesome packaging. But now on the back of the box we get a further look at Wave 3, and all of these are currently appearing in stores in the bloody US again and nowhere else in the world, so thank you again Jazwares, why do you hate us? But that's enough about the box, but let's crack this boy open and take a closer look at its juicy insides. But now, here it is in all its sexy gloriness. And I just have to say that this is a flipping amazing set. Honestly, I wept when I opened this thing. This version of the Shade Turret been making its debut in Halo Infinite, and we got to see a glimpse of it in the gameplay trailer last year. And looking at what was shown there, this toy looks like it's going to be the perfect representation of how it looks in game. This Shade Turret with its double penetration guns is hardly recognisable to its origins, where it made its first appearance all the way back in Halo Combat Evolved. But I have to say that this new design for the turret is my absolute favourite, and I think that 343 have done an amazing job in converting the Covenant vehicles to Banished vehicles. And I think that the red and the orange colour scheme here really work. But you know what, that's enough about the design of the turret for now, because let's look at what else is included in the box. And that is this little twat right here, the Grunt Assault. Now this little figure is a great inclusion in this set, meaning that Jazwares gave us a new design for the Grunt instead of just giving us the Grunt conscript that we got in Waves 1 and 2. Although the head and the top tank area are the only things that are new here, as this figure shares the same arms, legs and body as the conscript. But it's really nice to have something somewhat different. But down to the design of this thing alone, I think this has to be one of my favourite figures out of all of them so far. I really love the look of the redesigned Assault and the mask and the cylinder tank on its back. Really well executed by Jazwares. Much like the rest of the collection, it is packed with all sorts of different detail. As it shares the same body as the other grunts in this line, the articulation is also pretty good, as you can imagine. And you can get him into all sorts of different grunty poses that you could think of. But I have to say that my only issue with this thing is that the legs might be a little bit too loose. Nothing to be concerned with today, but over time I am concerned that it will end up being a floppy penis limbs, which is never good to see. And he also comes with an energy pistol, which is a really good attempt. Now I have to say that the weapons for the World of Halo line have to be the most disappointing thing for me at least, as the paint on them is always a little bit crap and most of the weapons arrive bent because of how they're packaged. But this energy pistol is a great mould, it is small so it's not bent, and the paint job also looks really good, especially these green lines that are on either side right here. I also find that it's quite easy to get him to hold the pistol as well, which again isn't the case for the rest of the weapons for the World of Halo line, but this one right here slips right in, so there's no thumbing in the floppy right here. But if I were to complain about one thing with this figure, it is that there is no base included at all, and actually that goes for all the vehicle sets to date. There are no bases for any of the figures included. Now you can argue that the Shade Turret and the other vehicles are basically the ultimate base for these figures. But for me, I want to display the vehicles and the figures separately. That way I can show them off without anything getting in the way. But as no base is included and they haven't released that sexy ass looking accessory pack just yet, that means I have to crack open a duplicate figure that I have just to get at the base. And I hate that. So Jazwares, you know, include a base of these vehicles, you absolute knobs. And last up, we of course have the Shade Turret itself. Now for some reason the box here says it has 9 pieces in total, so don't get confused, don't get excited thinking you're going to get more weapons and cool stuff. No. That is the grunt, plasma pistol, and then 7 pieces are used to build up the turret, which you can see here for the included instructions. But no, I won't confuse about this myself because I'm smart, but I had to technically mention that there's only 3 pieces for all the stupid people out there watching this video. See, I've got your back, stupid people, don't you worry. But that also means that there is some light construction involved, but don't fret, it is really easy to put together. But looking at this thing in all of its glory, I've got to say it is outstanding, and once again the detail that they put into this thing is great. Every part of it is packed with all sorts of crazy stuff which really helps bring it to life. And of course the paintwork is also pretty good. With the new red and grey colours being a majority of the turret, it also has a little bit of blue at the front and the base and also in the middle here. And it's also got some silver dry brushing all over, which really helps bring out all those details and helps give it a more war-torn look. But I personally wish that there was a little bit more paint than what we've got already, as these 2 sights on the front of the guns should be orange if I'm looking at the artwork right here. And the controls inside are lacking life completely. It would have been really good to get some decals, or at least if they even painted it a different colour, that would have been amazing. But as it looks right now, it is dead. And that is the same with the Ghost as well. The control panel on that is disgustingly bland. And now let's move on to the shields, which are really basic, but that is absolutely fine. I don't think more could have been done here to achieve a better energy shield effect. Just going for the transparent orange is fine for me. Yeah, so personally I think they're really cool. And there's a little bit more transparent orange to connect the base with the turret at the bottom, just to portray that hovering beamy effect. But I do think that this is also meant to be blue, not orange, so that's a little bit stupid, but hey ho, what can you do now? But one thing that I think that they could have done to make it so much better, because of the shield, assembly wise, you can remove the front one just like this, but you can't remove the side shields at all. So if you wanted to do 2 different looks, with one of them being a depleted shield look, then sadly you can't. Honestly, I think that's a real shame, as I probably would have gotten 2 of these things if I could display one with the shields and one without the shields. I think that's a completely missed opportunity right there. Jazwares, tut tut tut. But now let's move on to the, articulation of this turret. So of course it swivels around at the base just like this, which is very, very smooth, very nice. And then the guns can move up and down just like this, very nice again. Personally, I would have preferred that the guns were connected as one, with their bar ran all the way through to the middle so that they move in unison, as noticing that I had them misaligned pisses me right off. But I'll survive, but it is annoying when you can't get them exact. But then it comes to the joy of actually putting the figures into this thing. As you might have noticed, the foot holsters have a higher peg for smaller figures and a lower peg for taller figures. Now, I would have preferred them not to have these pegs at all, because with their inclusion it means that I have to attach the pegs to the feet to complete the look within. And honestly, getting these figures into it perfectly makes me want to kill myself, as once you've attached these little cock ring things and the gun shields, they can't be removed. Well, they can't be removed easily that I'm willing to try. So basically you're left with absolutely no room to cram the figure and your fat ass hand into this thing, whilst putting the feet into the pegs and the hands to wank off the handles like this. Like, this whole process is utter hell. I've watched BDSM videos where they go through less torture than putting things into here. But anyway, here is the grunt sitting all snug within. I've actually cut out 5 minutes of pure hell of me trying to get him to sit like this. But like I said, I'll be displaying these things on their own. So if it weren't for me making this video, I probably would have never put him in this godforsaken pose. So you're welcome. But there you have it. That is my crap review on this turret. And it is a pretty awesome set, if I've got to say so. Personally, for me, this has got to be one of my favourite World of Halo sets out of all of them. Like, I sure moaned about a few things here, but I'm British. We moan about bloody everything. But if you don't have this set, you need to pick it up, like, now, okay? It is really fantastic. And I was shocked to actually see that it leaked a few months back. As I knew that we'd be getting tons of vehicles in this line, I never thought we'd be getting a shade turret. And apart from my biggest issue being getting the figures into it, I think Jazwares did a pretty amazing job with it, so well done there, folks. But let me know in the comments down below, do you have this set or will you be picking it up? But what are your thoughts on it? Or are you not a fan of it at all? Let me know that too. And as always, don't forget to like and subscribe for more weekly Halo Gear videos. Until next time, my peeps.